Yuri, dentist mom turned homeschool mom to 5 kids. Today I thought I'd share a tteokbokki recipe with you that is non-spicy and our kids really enjoy. Typically tteokbokki has fish cake or a sliced meat. So in order to make it vegan, I experimented with different ways and included tofu since our kids actually like tofu. And when the kids were little, they couldn't really handle spicy or they didn't want to try spicy food. I created this non-spicy version of tteokbokki in order to introduce them to my Korean heritage. I have the recipe down in the description, but before we begin, please support our channel by subscribing. Here's what you'll need. 1 pound of Korean rice cake soaked in water for about 2 hours or more. Sometimes I do it overnight. Half a yellow onion, 1 large carrot, 1 green onion, half a block of tofu, it's like 8 ounces, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and for the sauce, pretty much you'll need 5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, or it could be honey, or if you don't have honey or maple syrup, you can go with sugar, 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or rice vinegar, black pepper to taste, lastly roasted sesame seeds sprinkled on at the end. One thing I wanted to include is that having a food scale is pretty helpful for things like measuring the rice cake. First, I'm going to boil the rice cake, in some water to kind of soften it a little bit. And so while we're waiting for that to boil, we'll go ahead and chop up some vegetables. Okay, I'm going to chop up the onions and the carrots. I'm cutting the tofu into the cube bite-sized pieces. This green onion was frozen. It's a little bit tricky to cut. I should have kept it a little frozen. I'm just going to drain the water from the tteokbokki. I'm going to dump the rice cake into this container. And this is where the dividing of the sauces comes in. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce to the rice cake, and also 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. And then give it a stir. Give it a stir, and then let it sit there while we do all the other stuff. Next, I'm going to place the tofu into the pot. Heat it up a little bit. I'm going to add the sauce mixture, which I'm going to make. I'm going to put the sauce together. I need 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4. I usually make the sauce beforehand. Okay, I'm going to add sesame oil. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Yeah, the tofu looks done. It just needs to be warmed up a little bit at medium to low temperature. And I don't use very much oil in my cooking anymore since we went plant-based. But with Asian recipes, I like to add some sesame oil just to give it that nice aroma. So now with the sauce that we made before, just have to dump it into this with the tofu. And give it a stir. We can go ahead and cook the onions and the garlic. So dump that into the pan. Add 2 cloves of garlic. I just eyeball it. Okay. Just stir. And we'll let that cook until the onions look a little transparent. Now, before I cook the onions too long, I want to add the carrots, because carrots take a little while to cook. So let's add the carrots. Give it a stir. And even cover it to help cook it, make it cook faster. Okay. So now the onions look transparent, and I like to check to see if the carrots I can cut through the carrots. Pretty good. So I think we're ready for the next step. I'm going to dump in the tteok, the rice cake. And give it a little stir. And I'll dump in the tofu and sauce mixture. Give it another stir. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper. And I'll put in our green onions. We have our green onions in there. I will cook it for just a minute or so before transferring it. Okay, now I think I'm ready to transfer the dish into a plate. I don't always do this part because we just eat right out of the pan. That way there are less dishes. Toss it a little bit. And then lastly, I'm going to sprinkle on some sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are great because they have a lot of protein. People are always concerned about protein when they first become vegan. But when you think about it, how many people go to the doctor with a protein deficiency? We can get protein from a lot of different food sources, including most all of our greens like spinach. Well, that's it for the non-spicy vegan tteokbokki. When the kids were younger, this is all I needed, but now that they're getting bigger and their appetites are growing, I've had to double this recipe. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below. I'd love to hear how your tteokbokki turns out, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Can I have your tteokbokki?
No.
No.